This talk with Sherman. I'm your host, Sherman On from Hoteling Insurance Services. Really want to thank all of our guests today. Thank you for Margie and coming on and talking about how she's educating a lot of people out there, especially to help them avoid some different pitfalls that she unfortunately had to deal with in her experience in career. So really grateful for her and sharing her advice and her thoughts on how to find a good financial planner out there. Now we're going to shift over, because one of the things that Margie mentioned is how she loves working with the young folks and helping them build their credit, start young, and we're going to be talking with Angela Lopez from Paula Buen, Crédito. Angela, welcome to Biz Talk Show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. So an important thing here when talking about credit is how can I build it?
Okay. There are many ways to build your credit. One of the ways that I advise is to start with a secure card. Many banks have their own terms and conditions. So depending on the bank, they will tell you the limit that you could put in your credit. It could be from $200 until $1,500. I think that's the best way for you to start building your credit line. I mean, there are other things like credit my rent, but the most that I recommend is a secure card.
That's amazing. So for some people that are new to opening up that card, they might not understand, what is credit?
Well, credit is the most important thing here in the United States. You can't get a loan without credit. You can buy a car without credit. You can rent a house or buy a home without credit. So credit is something very important that we need to have and take care of.
And so I know for a lot of people, they hear about this credit score, and what is that to the average person that doesn't know what it is?
Well, credit score, we use the FICO score. It's the most common for banks, lenders, cars, and it's based on your history. How much do you pay? How much do you own? And it's based on more details, like if you pay your payments on time, if you have how many credit cards, or do you have collections or negatives or accounts. So they use that to determine your credit score.
Gotcha. And so what would be a good number for a credit score?
Well, a good number, it starts from 670 to 739. That's a good number. An excellent number is from 740 to 850, which is the max.
Gotcha. Now, when it comes to that, working with a financial institution, how are they using that? So that you use the example of going to buy a car, and I'm going to finance that car and get a loan. How is a lender going to use that number?
Okay, so lenders use the FICO, like I said earlier. Depending on your credit scores, when you go buy a car, that will tell them how much rate they will charge you. So we're looking for low interest, and if you have a 740 and above, you will get the more minimum interest, and you don't have to pay as much over time.
So basically, the better my credit score is in that scenario, the lower the interest will be on my qualification for that financing of the car, if I can even finance.
Right. Yes. There are cases that people try to run their credit when they're in the dealership, and it makes it worse for the one that is looking for the car and finance the house, another a mortgage or car. It's very hard when they run your credit score and you don't know what is your credit score at that moment before going to the dealership.
That's amazing. So when it comes to people will hear this and they'll say, well, then forget it. I'm not going to get any credit cards. Why is it important for people to monitor and observe their credit?
Well, it's very important. I mean, I know there's a lot of, you could call it rules, but it's very important for you to be aware of your credit score. Not every day, but at least every 60 days to check your credit score. Any inaccurate items that you might have in your credit report. But it's nothing that a person could keep up with, you know. There's every myth. I have met people before that they say, no, I don't do credit cards, I only do cash. But when the time comes, if you are in an emergency, how are you gonna know if you can afford it? And if you have a good credit, the people will lend you whatever that is they need to lend you at that moment, because it depends. It depends on the person, actually, yeah.
So then what, and using your services and your expertise over at Paula Bien Crédito, how would someone benefit from working with you guys?
I mean, every case is different. We don't guarantee results as a week or a month. Credit report is very patient. You have to be patient. You have to work on it. You have to be on top of your credit card, like take care of your credit. You know, you can't not just lend it to anybody. It's something that, you know, we need it here, unfortunately, yeah.
Gotcha. And so when working with you, there's no guarantee of when it's going to happen, but obviously being conscientious about someone's credit, having a look at what their history looks like, you can be able to help them get to a better place when it comes to their credit score and put them in a better financial position.
Yes, I mean, people would like to hear, oh, can I fix my credit in 30 days? That's not gonna happen, I'm sorry. You know, it takes time. But if you work hard and you follow what we're trying to help you with, yes, you could do it. You could rebuild your credit. You could have a healthy credit score, you know. People, instead of applying for credit cards, people offer you the credit cards. The lenders will offer you the credit cards instead of go looking for it. It makes everything easier for renting an apartment and anything that you might need at that moment. So yeah.
That's amazing. So then how can folks get in touch with you, Angela, if they want to be able to have a conversation about, hey, I haven't looked at my credit score in a long time, it'd be really helpful.
Well, you could look at Paula Buen Crédito and our social media, or you just look it up in Google and it will give you the information that you need to use.
Gotcha. And so for those that you're listening on in podcast or in the radio, it's Paula, Paula Buen Credito. And what's amazing, Angela, is you guys have a lot of content in video, in Spanish, and also in English to be able to help people of a variety of backgrounds be able to understand what credit is and how they can really do some different things when it comes to handling this this major issue, major topic.
Yes. Thank God that the information that we have, we could translate in English and Spanish. The majority of people, unfortunately, not very aware of the situation of credit, the Spanish speaking people. But, you know, we try to make it as easy as possible for them to understand and follow with their reports and their credit, yeah.
Really important. Well, thank you so much for coming in on the show. Again, if you're going to get a hold of the team there, 786-287-3955, or you can follow them. You can Google they have your own YouTube channel there, and they're all on Instagram and Facebook. Paula Bien Crédito. Angela, thank you so much for coming in on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, everybody. Really appreciate you taking time to listen in, to view. Appreciate all those that came on from the students over at Junior Achievement, from Mike Moran, from Margie, from Angela. Really appreciate all the financial topics that we were talking about today and being able to make sure that you can get yourself to a good position. I want to be able to thank one of the producers out here. He did a new intro. Hope you guys enjoyed viewing that. And also he put in there a really cool phrase, tactical knowledge. And I would say that's extremely powerful, because it's not so much what you know and information, It's about the application. It's the wisdom of, of that knowledge. So it doesn't matter how much you're knowing out there and learning. If you're not applying it, you're not having tactical knowledge, then it's of no use to you. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, feel free to reach out to me, sherman.on@hgfin.net. Really appreciate all that everyone's doing here at the Now Media studio and team to be able to allow our message to be heard across the airwaves and to be seen right on your mobile device or in your living room. So appreciate all the time, everybody. This is the show, Biz Talk with Sherman, and I'm out.